We have been trying to find out who are the missing Otsutsukis for a while now, but we just haven't had enough information to come up with a valid theory. But what if I tell you that the missing Otsutsukis that we are looking for are currently hiding in the village, but we just haven't realized? I am Dynasty, and in today's video, we'll be uncovering the secret of the two missing Otsutsukis. The idea of there being two Otsutsuki's that are yet to be revealed emerged after we saw the Otsutsuki tablets in Ishiki's palace. In that palace, we saw that there were 3 stones that each represented 2 pairs of Otsutsukis. The first pair was Momoshiki and Kinshiki, the second pair was Ishiki and Kaguya, but the last pair is unknown, as we see that the writing was carved out. The missing Otsutsuki's that we are talking about are in that pair that was carved out of Ishiki's palace. And with the release of chapter 75, we are given a very important clue about who these missing Otsutsukis truly are. So in chapter 75, Amado says something interesting about Eida's ability to fly. When Eida starts flying to go to her apartment, Amado tells the people around him to relax, as this is a common feat for Otsutsukis, adding that Boruto and Kawaki will be able to do this very soon. This is what piqued the recent spark of the missing Otsutsuki's, as Amado's explanation of Eida's abilities hints at her being an Otsutsuki. And if she is an Otsutsuki, she might then be one of the missing Otsutsuki's that we are trying to find. So let me walk you through this entire theory so that you can understand how and why Eida and her brother might just be the Otsutsuki's that we have all been looking for. So let's start off with their design, which most people do not pay close attention to. We have Eida, who has stars and different planets on her clothing. This might tell us that she has a connection to things that are outside this planet, as one of the things we see on her clothes is a planet that looks like Jupiter. When it comes to her dojutsu, we know that it is not related to Kaguya's dojutsu, which gives us a hint that tells us that she might be an Otsutsuki, or maybe it is just that Amado is a pure genius. The main reason I believe that it is more likely that it's a Otsutsuki dojutsu is because of the way it can be used. Let's say, for example, an Otsutsuki goes to a planet. Before they decide if they're actually going to put the time and energy to plant the chakra fruits and harvest it, they will use the Sharingan to look back and check at the planet's history to check if it is actually worth planting and putting the time necessary to harvest the chakra fruits. When it comes to her brother, Daemon does have a planet just like Eida that appears to be Jupiter on her back. In addition, when it comes to both their abilities, we know that they have more abilities because Eida told Daemon not to reveal all their cards. So does this prove that they are Otsutsukis? No, because Eida and Daemon are both cyborgs, so I don't believe that the simple answer is that they are Otsutsuki's. But what I do believe is that it shows that Eida and Daemon might have a connection to the Otsutsuki's. And this is where the theory becomes interesting, because what if, just like Boruto and Kawaki, they are both vessels, but this time for the missing Otsutsuki's? Let's go back to Boru's cult for a quick second. This is something that is added into the story, which proves its importance. Boru had a cult that he led that would worship Otsutsuki's, which they referred to as gods. This has been a constant theme in both the Boruto and Naruto series. Kaguya was worshipped and referred to as a god, Tonori called Momoshiki and Kinshiki gods, and we have Code, who worships Ishiki just like a god. This is something the writers put there intentionally to heavily foreshadow who the missing Otsutsuki's truly are. Since we are going off the idea that Eida and Daemon are Otsutsuki vessels, then it means that they are not the missing Otsutsuki's that we see in Ishiki's palace. So we are left with the question of who are the missing Otsutsuki's. To find the answer to this question, we have to go back to an instance in time where a character referred to another as a god. This means that we have to go back to Naruto Shippuden and meet a character named Hidan. Hidan is one of the most unique characters in the entirety of the Naruto and Boruto series. Not only is he one of the only characters that uses blood to harm others, but he also has a form of immortality. But who gave Hidan this immortality and this fighting style? Because we know that it is only after he became immortal that he started fighting by injuring himself. Because if he had done this in the past, he would be dead. This means that alongside immortality, he gained the ability to reflect the damage he received. The person who gave Hidan this immortality is the god that he worships. This person is known as Lord Jashin, or to be more accurate, Jashin Otsutsuki. And with this new discovery, we can complete the story of the missing Otsutsuki's and how they relate to Eida and Daemon. First, isn't it kind of weird that Daemon's abilities are quite similar to Hidan? Daemon's main ability that we know at the moment is that he has the ability to reflect damage onto his enemy, just like Hidan. But we have to ask, who made Daemon and why is he so linked to Hidan? If we know that Amado is the person who created Daemon, probably as a vessel, then does this mean that Amado has a connection to Jashin Otsutsuki? The answer is yes, and it was right in our faces this entire time. When Hidan does his ritual, he creates a symbol, and this is where things get very interesting, as this exact symbol can be found in Amado's lair, and it doesn't stop there. A lot of people are mad that Shikamaru always seems to be on edge with Amado most of the time. Even though Amado is sus, people believe that Shikamaru is doing too much. However, I disagree, as this is peak foreshadowing right here. As, just like Shikamaru hated Hidan for killing his master, he subconsciously hates Amado as he is related to Hidan. Shikamaru and Amado do not get along because he is related to the person that killed his master. Shikamaru doesn't know this himself, but it is something that happens subconsciously. So what does this all mean, and how does this all connect? So here is the explanation. Amado is Jashin Otsutsuki's accomplice, or maybe he is an Otsutsuki himself, but I lean towards the idea that he is just Jashin's accomplice. Jashin Otsutsuki was probably killed by Ishiki alongside his partner because they betrayed the clan. This is where Amado comes into play, as his task was to revive these Otsutsuki. He tried to do so in the past when Ishiki was controlling Jigen. However, he refused and asked Amado to destroy Eida and Daemon. However, Amado didn't destroy them, but rather he hid them away. But now is the moment where Eida and Daemon are both introduced, and Amado will continue his task and plan, which is the revival of Lord Jashin, or to put it in better words, Jashin Otsutsuki. This is what is going to be revealed in chapter 75, so if you want to be the first person to know who is Jashin and what are his goals, watch this video right here.